Alright, so what do we want to see on the side of Viking? They got a full minute to think about. We most likely need a hero for Boom. And Boom doesn't really know who he's up against. Probably either Puck or Viper, but this lineup from Alliance is still so open. They could still just pick... Actually, they most likely will...
Oh, it's on. Throw down. Let's go, boys.
Sure, so now Viking gets to pick up the Tiny, and it's the same reason as before, pretty much. It's to kill the Puck, but this time it is this mid Puck most likely. So we're talking about the matchup in the previous series, we're talking about the matchup of Tiny Puck, never happened, but this time, same thing. Tiny can always blow up the Puck, it gets the ball rolling, and they have the vision source from the Wraith King Skeletons, plus the Hawk from the Beastmaster, Ench Creep. Like, there's so many ways for the Tiny to find kills, and yeah, he's actually going to have to kill 3 of the 4 heroes now on Alliance. So a different game from the first one where Tiny struggled to kill anyone. He should have a free passage of killing up at least the first 3 heroes of Alliance. Of course, the Viper +1, they shouldn't be too threatened.
I like how effective it is at hitting backlines too. Yeah. Like a lot of the Alliance heroes, Enigma, Viper, they play a little slow. They have stuff in between them and the enemies. This is going to make it a lot harder though for Viking. The PLs are really good pick here.
Yeah, so I think this last pick PL, there's 2 issues with it, simply because Wraith King goes Radiance has a pretty chill time, and that big skirmishing fight that we saw from Viking in game 1, that's exactly what they're going to do again. They can go Roshan themselves a little bit quicker this game, and they can really just close out the map from Alliance. Of course, this PL will eventually scale, but how much fight can your Enigma and Nyx really bring supporting the likes of the Puck and Viper? I'm skeptical about how much map they can truly play, but of course they eventually do scale to a very nice timing. But can Viking execute really nicely in the first 20-25 minutes again?
I mean, if they can. Is it Vavavoom time?
Maybe. Let's see what Perch thinks about the Vavavoom.
Let's see what Perch thinks about the Vavavoom.
Enigma 5 I think can have issues, but I think it'll lane fine against like Beastmaster and Earth Spirit. They can't really punish the Eidolons too badly, so I assume he'll be able to deny experience a lot there. Slow down Kazu's Necro. That'll mean that Nyx Assassin is more effective longer because the Necro 3 comes later. So I think I like what Alliance has done here.
Bogged out. We're getting this last pick Tiny. Now, very much Viking, I guess, wanting to say, hey, look, we'll show you how it's done. And Alliance, they come in with this last pick PL, a carry that the panel wasn't completely sold on. I mean, is Nico maybe going to have an easy game as this PL, or is this actually quite a difficult game for him to play into?
If he's able to absorb the space and can make it to the later stages, yeah, it could look like a pretty damn good PL game. But that's saying if he can make it. I'm seeing a lot of greed coming out from Alliance, and I think it's definitely punishable. I think Viking, they have the exact lineup to actually punish this very greedy lineup if they're running in for the 5 fight.
They are. They're going to try and start some action off it. Won't quite be able to continue to chase it, and that's for Celery. I think he forgot where he was. That was a proper where am I, as he stepped up to the high ground and... Yeah.
What? He stood in the entire duration of the Nether Talk. He actually let it do its max DPS. So he's sitting for like 80.
He was standing in it for what how many seconds does that somebody do the maths? That's 7 seconds.
He stood in it for a very long time. So he just doing a crazy amount of damage and a bit of a slip up there, as it appears like they were trying to read some lanes.
See it here on the replay. Poor Celery. I'm dying.
He's in it the whole duration. Look at this.
Help! I'm dying. Oh, I'm dying. Uh-oh. All right, that's one way for Limp to start them in with the first blood. Celery, I think he was like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
We don't have Viper. That's not our Nether Toxin.
You know what? I bet that's what it was. It happens, right? Sometimes you're like, wait, whose spell is this?
Oh, God. That's a reaction, actually. So good. All right. So let's see how top ends up being. I'm curious to see how this 5-position Enigma does end up working. We saw, what was it? It was OG who ran this, I think, once on No Tail, and it was extremely effective in the game they actually ended. I don't remember if it was versus Wraith King. It might have been, but we'll see how he can do it. I think it's a pretty decent approach versus this Beastmaster and versus Earthspirit. It should give Nico Baby a pretty decent lane.
Oh, hang on.
Bottom.
Not gonna kill it.
The power.
Close.
Toxin is an insane ability level 1. Have to be very careful. That's why we're seeing the popularity of these offlane Vipers. They might actually kill Shad here.
They will. He's sticking around at way too low of a HP. An easy kill for them there as the spells are back up, and Hanskin just weaves right in through the trees and sets up.
All right, yeah, they're getting really destroyed by this, just the one spell of another toxin. As S4 will start off with another good game. As he was similar last game, he was kind of owning as that Pango in the beginning of the game, and then things started really crumbling in the mid game. At least he'll be off to a good start.
Yeah, what do you sort of expect out of this mid lane? Are we? Because you know, last game Limp did kind of pop off at the start. He had a very good opening as the Tiny. Is Boom going to be able to do the same this game?
Yeah, he looks like he has some decent targets to burst down. He is playing into some scary stuff, though. You know, I think Viper and Enigma are deceptive with how scary they actually are for you as a Tiny. Midnight Pulse and just the overall Viper's magic damage is really tough for Tiny to actually address. And mobility, you know, Tiny wants to be able to move around. If he gets Viper struck, it's quite tough for him. But he does have some nice targets that he can pop. He's able to focus fire onto Limp. That's why they went for this pick, because they were identifying that it was a mid bot. Boom is actually tanks 2 tower hits, and he is a 0 armor hero, so he gets quite low in the mid lane. Limp's actually just hitting him. Limp might be able to go for a kill if Boom isn't too careful.
Last bottle charge.
That's not good. He has more regen on the courier, right?
Right.
Oh, he has a mango. Oh, no.
All right, he's got to be very careful for the next minute and a half, really, if he's just going to try and wait it out for the power room.
Yeah, Limp, I think you just hit him the whole time here on Limp. He doesn't have himself a lane ward in mid, so he can't hit him as effectively, but yeah, Boom has to be very careful. Bottom, we see Celery did get access to the big creep finally. I've been watching Hanskin just constantly blocking both the pull as well as that with himself.
Radiant's courier has
But every time they do get a creep, that's when you're going to see S4 really struggle. Besides that, S4 should be able to get a good amount of free farm down here, forcing it in. With that Nether Toxin Hanskin, it'll be fine. Seeing that effect in mid lane already starting to happen. Boom getting too low, tanking those tower hits, just has given Limp the opportunity to pass him in last hits. Boom now gets the salve delivered, and Limp will be able to cancel it pretty much instantly.
Yeah, it's taken quite a bit of the effectiveness of it. We'll see what sort of moves they're going to be able to make to secure that 4-minute rune, as it's going to be ever so important between these two in this mid matchup.
Oh man, Boom might have to just take the walk back to base. I don't think he can actually wait for the rune.
He can't go for it.
I think he has to go all the way. He'll just die otherwise at the contest of the rune. If he doesn't get lucky, he has to go back anyway. So a big win for Limp, all the way back up to full. And this is, I don't like Tiny overall as a hero if you start falling behind like at all anymore. He used to be a different monster because you just had the recovery period where you're able to one-shot heroes because Avalanche was effectively pretty broken at the time. Now it's only 2x damage, so like, every hero is a lot tankier, and if you start falling behind on Tiny, you may just never find those winners where you can just pop a hero.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw what last game, you know, even with the beginning that Limp had, you know, he lost momentum quite easy after having a very good start. So, yeah, we're going to see sort of the increased difficulty of the hero when it's off to a start where he is falling behind in lane.
And I feel like if Alliance is able to start getting that ball rolling early on, their draft looks phenomenal if they get it to the later stages. If Viking isn't the one just pushing down towers and taking objectives, I'd be so happy if I was in Alliance's position. An Enigma, a 5-position Enigma they're getting away with, a PL as well. Really the dream. So right now they're in a very good spot. They're even going to start stacking some camps, setting up for those bounty runes. And Kezu is getting slowed down. I'm seeing some nice Eidolon usage on the board over and over again, so good XP for them. And they're even finding kills bottom. This is going really good for Alliance.
Building up a gold lead with these kills that they're getting. And Limp very close to having a 6, so now they're prepared for Limp to make those moves. Catch that replay here again down bottom. 2 of them having incredible kill potential against Celery when they get him in that poison.
They're bringing Aramis now, so he can't actually shut down anything. Oh, he canceled the TP, just kidding. So he doesn't want to actually set up. I thought he was going to actually set up for bottom to just kill the Viper, at least get some urn charges going for himself, but no, he cancels.
Yeah, I wonder why do you think sort of the change decision there? Was he worried about Kezu going down top? It looks like they just want to make a move with Boom top.
He'll get the urn charge from that.
Yeah. Gets himself in range there, thanks to Boom's move.
Maybe just feeling they don't want to bring any more attention to bottom. Like, if they bring another hero bottom, that means that Alliance is probably going to bring another hero bottom, and then Shad suffers mid. Hunt's trying to set up. It's a pretty tanky Tiny.
No, they don't quite be able to burst him here. He's popping the Fairy Fire, doing his best to duke out the stun. Hanskin.
He's taking the tower on Hanskin.
He's taking a lot of tower hits for that. A little too speedy for Hanskin to be able to find the angle. Down bottom, S4. He's getting caught on in it. They might just have to kill. They do with the impetus. Celery's able to take him down whilst he's been left alone.
Any way to get them caught back up in the bottom lane. That's very nice for Shad. Pressure has been alleviated. He'll be able to hit his 6 nicely, so he won't have to worry about dying pre-reincarnation. Lanes are starting to even out a little bit. Still definitely seeing Boom suffering in comparison to that puck. 27 to 47 last hits. That's pretty crazy.
Top. We go for Kezia here this time. He steps up, pulse down, and the damage here from Nico Baby Disillusion's enough to get the kill.
Aramis actually rolls in. Okay, can't actually make anything of it. As Nico Baby, the first book summon, he will kill the ranged Necro book.
Goal for him. We see already Nico Baby and Lim starting to get quite a bit ahead of their counterparts for just 7 minutes in. Solid start from the two of them. Guess who's back into the lane? Aramis.
They're gonna go in.
It's hard.
They're trying to get aggressive with the book, with the red book still alive, the warrior, but they can't actually get aggro on him. And now FNG's coming back over. They have a stun.
Yeah, and they don't have Raw, so Kezu having the levels quite yet to really set up.
It's hard to set up for the PL anyway. Pre-Earthspirit having the silence point, he's always going to be able to get those doppels. That's why they went for this PL pick. You know, it is very effective if he's able to get the farm and is getting this free space right now on the side of Alliance. Alliance has to be very happy. You know, they're not getting punished for their greedy picks.
Well, they're not. Balloon and Nico Baby having the start that he'd hoped for. So we are going to see an attempt from Aramis and Boom. Able to make the move and get FNG.
Nice.
Again, just catch Nico Baby. The very tough move for these heroes to make. This time Nico Baby is able to stay alive, keep on farming, despite Boom's efforts to make moves up there.
Boom has to make these quick moves though, because he knows that's exactly what Limp is going to start setting up around the map. As Limp, he's got his eyes set on bottom. Shad still has the point saved for Reincarnate.
And Shad
actually getting aggressive on that board.
They are straight in on top of him, and S4 he's going to be able to turn and get the Viper strike off, but S4's down. Shad, he's got the Reincarnate ready for round 2. FNG, is he going to just set up onto him? He's not quite the 6 though, as Aramis, he's able to move in onto FNG with a silence. FNG's also going to go down. As Viking, they'll get the 2 of them down here. Limp's got to jump out with the orb, as there's nothing more for Alliance to find down here, as they only end up giving some action to the Wraith King.
I think S4 is expecting to survive a little bit longer. He's playing very far forward, but sure, you might deactivate the Mortal Strike for a second when your Nether Toxin's down, but the Skeleton is actually just doing crazy amounts of damage to him with this 5-position Enchantress sitting in too. I really feel like he feels tankier, but he's just getting killed before the team gets there to help him. Now, they will set up for Celery. It's hiding inside the trees, pulling creep aggro.
Oh, a nice read there from Hanskin. Dropping the T, the stun down is the one location he knows he's going to be stuck.
But he got the range creep. So you see this enchanted creep, it's running up to stop the push, catch the wave. So his job effectively is done there, even though he did die. He's able to stop any type of aggression onto it. And maybe get some bounty rooms or deny them.
And meanwhile, mid Lim. He's got the orb in a second. He's going to be able to jump in and grab the arcane. Just boom. He's secured that. He'll pop that, make sure they can continue to farm up.
Hanskin actually had to stun the creep. It may have taken out the bounty room from him. And now that wave bottom has been manipulated, is going to get a double wave push bottom for Alliance. So maybe they can take this tower off, as it is the catapult wave.
They're going for a Nico Baby. Beautiful angle here from Aramis.
Get the roar.
The silence into the stun, follow roar. Excellently lined up there from Aramis there. Nice little smile from him. He knows that was a sweet play.
That was, yeah. This guy has, I feel like he never gets to play Earth Spirit anymore, but always does pop off when he is able to. Very dream setup, slowing down the PL's farm, just like last game, you know. The Ursa on Nico Baby, they killed him at one of the most effective times. Similar on the PL now. He was very close to Diffusal being done. Very nice strikes coming out from Viking. They can get this aggressive ward down. They've had the aggressive ward down, but they get to smoke around this area after they get this kill.
Trying to go in on mid. Hansken.
Hansken.
He's going to get put to a stop though. The Ray Fire Blast from Shad stops them from leading in straight away, and they just turn and kill him off instead. Up top, Alliance. They should find Kezu here. The pulse down. Nico Baby able to get involved. Kill. Shad chasing for Limp, but Limp is going to have orb up, and he's still got the coil. So, Celery finds himself on the front lines as Boom says, "Get in there." They won't be able to catch this puck.
The mid tower does go down though, so Limp, he did get what he wanted to get. Although it did get denied, I'm pretty sure, yeah, the Tiny was able to get it, but a very early tier 1 mid for a puck.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of those rotations that was coming out from the Tiny. Very nicely done.
And do you like this as well from S4? Kind of the greed build, this Falcon Blade into bots?
We've been seeing bots on Viper just a lot more. You're literally the most immobile hero in Dota, so I feel like you just need to get boots to travel so you can actually play. Otherwise, you never are in a fight.
Boom. He's trying to go for the rune. They're going to turn on him, but Boom
didn't take it.
Wait, they didn't? They didn't? They didn't? I mean, they had ample opportunity to pick that up and take it away, but Boom ends up getting the free ball refill. As, they say, hey, you know what? We're going to let you have the rune.
Okay.
And have a kill as well on top of that. Why don't you? All right. I mean, they had many a moment to just grab that Invis rune away from him, but I guess just they got lost in the moment.
Yeah, definitely a little weird. Nico Baby shows himself top. They know this is the real PL. Boom immediately pings him. He's like, all right, well, if PL's going to show himself, we got to try to pressure him. Nico Baby immediately ports himself away. We'll be coming into him.
We're going to see the replay here. I mean, there's the rune.
Look.
Could pick it now. Could pick it now. You can take it. Do you want it?
He's leaving it for Limp. Limp even does like a little jump.
Do you want it?
He clicked Hanskin.
You can take it. Do you want? No. And Boom just gets it. He's right. All right. I'll take the free ball refill. You know what? I'll take kill as well.
That was really awkward.
Thank you very much, there. Boom's happy with that. I mean, 3-0-2. His game's going quite nicely. 1,800 gold into the blink as well.
Yeah, they're doing great. You see Celery now sending the Dark Troll Summoner to mid. Get some damage onto the mid tower. They had the Hawk scouting behind. They're watching where the PL was farming, so they're aware that Nico Baby's on the right side of the map. Let's see what they look to do for these next moments. Right now, it's just finishing up the Book 3 on Kezu and finishing up the Blink, I believe, onto Boom before they really make any more big plays on the side of Viking. They're having some nice time to get this farm on. And Shad, he almost has Relics. So all things are looking pretty good for Viking.
I mean, so for Nico Baby, he's still focused on avoiding the action, even though he's got the defusal done. Like, is he ready to get involved, or do you think he's better set on just sticking to hitting the creeps for as long as possible?
He can show up for cleanup, but yeah, for the most part, still wants to just be hitting those creeps. I think right now he can show up though, as Radiance isn't done. Once Radiance is out, he has to play a little bit more careful on the sideline.
This time they'll be able to deal with Boom, and they'll be able to pick up the Limp to grab that. So good kill to find to go around this timing where he was just about 100 gold away from the Blink Dome before he dies. He actually going to have a lunch looking for more. FNG. Step in.
They're just charging in. They're taking over the enemy jungle here. Nice aggressive move when they do find that Tiny pick off. And yeah, it's very precise kills coming out from both sides. Slowing down the Blink now too.
The Beastmaster thanks you.
It's giving space for Shad up top. So how are we seeing on his timing? Yeah, 1,000 got away from Radiance.
Yeah, not too bad for him having a really rough start. Yeah, literally dying at the first creep.
Aramis. Find the setup here onto Hansken. Boom's able to come over. Toss him back away from any safety.
Yeah, this is a pretty decent strength here with the Book 3. Both sides actually do have a little bit of a window to fight around each other. The PL can show up to fights if the Radiance isn't online and if the Book isn't there. Nyx doesn't want to play around this Book, so Viking are going to play around this strength here themselves.
Aramis.
FNG.
Regeneration.
Fine. I mean, how easy is it? Is it going to be easier for Alliance to secure areas of the map for Nico Baby to farm, or is it going to be easier for Viking to sort of take over the map?
should be a little bit easier for Viking because they have the Beastmaster. The Hawk can always get this extra opportunity. Just Alliance, they can defend as long as they don't spread themselves too thin. They have to fight in one location. They don't want to be fighting in 2 different fronts because that's where Vikings easily thrive on the Beastmaster and Tiny. There's the Radiance. So now he's got a good matchup versus that PL. And Nico Baby's going to need some time to farm some heart before he really looks to fight versus Wraith King entirely.
Yeah. And do you like this as well from Shan? Looks like he's contemplating going back for the armlet now after the Radiance, still getting that into his build. Or would you like to see him go for bigger items, go straight for the BKB or the Blink?
I want to see a bigger item.
Yeah.
I don't think the armlet is going to solve the problem of the game that is the PL. The armlet just gives you your own, your own personal game, but you need to be addressing this PL at all fronts as this Wraith King, because the rest of your lineup, it has troubles with it. So it's really all about Shad.
Top Aramis. Let's start some action here onto FNG. FNG will go down, but S4's going to be able to make sure they get Aramis in return. As they get the trade.
Thinking about roaring.
He's going to go for it. Booms in with the combo. They'll be able to take themselves a second out of this play, Viking. And a play as well where Limp didn't quite have the Dream Coil up. Only just came back up now, so wasn't able to turn and maybe set up for further TPs. So Alliance losing 2 there, Boom. Getting involved in some more action.
Anytimes when they can shut down the Viper's game, it's important. Viper starts to become a pretty squishy hero in these type of games if you do die too many times, as he is starting to get to that point below those mids. Has to be a little more careful about how he does stand. Has he gone for? He went for Dragon Lance too. It's a bit interesting, rather than going for BKB on the Viper early on.
It's only just.
Celery alive.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Find his
attack.
creep as well. Quick little defusal to stop it. Both teams taking over the opposing side's jungles. Alliance getting a little bit more out of their greed right now. And they actually find Aramis.
Very close though. The 4 of them on top of him.
He placed the ward down. That ward, like, just pretty much saved his life. It was the second he put it. And we'll be able to get that D ward of the opposing ward in the mid lane. Alliance getting a little bit more farm out of the map, though. This Puck is able to just actually farm and show himself, while Boom, he doesn't really want to show himself as this Tiny. Every time he does, it gives so much information to the side of Alliance, just with farm. All of them start showing when the Tiny does show.
When these sort of passive moments, you do feel that is going to favour the PL draft from Alliance.
Yeah.
If it does slow down to this point, it is Viking that we've got to keep looking for action.
Regeneration.
Yeah, and it's up to Viking now to just really always, it's the itemization. It's thinking about the future versus the PL. It's looking for your Crimson Guards, your Shivas, etc. And they don't really have the best heroes to be able to go for these type of items that you want to. Mid tower, Skeletons might be able to finish it off. Gonna look for a play.
Gonna get hands, Ken.
Find it. He's up. Finishing up the tower, with all of Alliances setting up around mid. S4's under vision. They do have nice wards right now on Vikings, so they're looking to capitalize on it if they can catch these squishy heroes out of position. They're hunting S4. They saw him walk down toward bottom.
Yeah, they know that they sort of split from the rest of them.
Yeah, they're gonna catch him for sure here too.
Or maybe not. He's just outside of vision. But obviously, he's the bigger target. They're in. They've got the silence set up as they're over onto Nico Baby. If they got the damage, he's out with the doppel out to the side. Nico Baby's gonna be fine. Aramis will turn his attention over towards S4 instead, but Link jumps in. Reincarnate pops. Time has been bought for Alliance to turn up. The avalanche out, and the 2 of them sets up for S4's death. Aramis keeping himself off to the side as he's low, but they have the control on Hanskin. The damage from Celery's impetus to take down a second. Don't get Nico Baby, but still 2 solid kills, and to say again, just shaking up S4's game a little bit more.
That's a lot in a row that he just keeps getting grabbed by him. This Dragon Lance, I think it's really gonna hurt him that he didn't just go straight for BKB. Might have to just disassemble and just build into that BKB, because I feel like that's just a liability for him at this point. Not getting it, that magic immunity early on might really hurt the fact that they don't have a good frontliner.
Yeah, they really don't. I mean, we're seeing
they really don't.
Sort of as soon as they make moves onto Nico Baby, he's having to run. There's nothing really there at the moment on Alliance that enables Nico Baby to get in and look to get kills quite yet in these fights. It's still too risky for him.
And the two supports can't contribute a whole lot. You know, Hanskin, he's a Nyx assassin. You know exactly what he's going to be able to do in the fights. Enigma as a 5 position is very, very hard to actually get into the fray. You're super squishy. If you get caught by anything, you're just dead. So FNG unable to really commit too much, and he did show up late to the fight. It was, of course, Nico Baby getting set up on initially.
Radiant are scanning.
Hasn't queued up what he's going for yet on this Enigma either. I think it looks like it's just going to be like a Blink Rush or something like that. Last time I saw it, I believe it was the Solar Crest from No-Tail, which ended up working pretty well. But he did have like a super carry, not a single low target carry, that is. And the heart is done. So Nico Baby, he is very tough to actually bring down, but it's just what can he actually do with his overwhelming amount of illusions? Can he actually bring down and focus fire any of these tanky cores on the side of Viking?
Oh, and it's an interesting approach from Shad. I mean, I guess it makes sense against the PL, but Armlet into a Mjolnir, so going full in on the PL counter items.
Okay, the Armlet is really curious to me. I guess he just wants to have that big, damaging individual thing like single target. It's a really good Wraith King item anyway. It's just very rare to see you pick it up after Radiance. You usually just go for those bigger items, but he just likes it.
I guess he just likes playing with it, and you know, if he's able to pull off a few cute Armlet toggles against, you know, these the burst of heroes like the Puck and the Nyx Assassin, maybe if they're trying to go on him, it can allow for some, you know, pretty clutch turnarounds.
Yeah, definitely. Boom. He's gonna go down here. A great grab from Alliance. Nico Baby's able to pressure bottom with that freshly revealed heart now.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower
He
is
also on
under attack.
Kezu, so yeah. These tanky cores on the side of Viking, they will be problematic. They're going to be able to just walk through majority of the spells on Alliance and just pick and choose their targets. I even see Aramis going for the BKB too. So that will be nice when they're able to get all. It is just Kezu who has it.
Is under attack.
Now's S4 doing on his BKB. Still a bit away from his. Without doubt, Kezu's definitely going to have the easier time in these team fights. Down his ult. Wishes.
FNG still has not revealed what he's going to go for. He has a 2200. I'm expecting, like I said, the blink.
Yeah.
Which could be impactful if he can actually find opportunities. Could be pretty nice. We see the Ags now finished for Limp. So he's got his big 3 items. Witchblade, Blink, and Aghanims versus that. You know, there's only the 1 BKB, but it's still very impactful anyway. Even versus non-BKB. Foil duration does go up. Viking? What they can grab here. They go for a sneaky play.
Nah, they don't go for it.
Shad's not smoke. This is a risky one. They're gonna look for a kill.
Gotta find them.
Got the ward down. They got the Hawk scouting.
Oh, they see.
Hawk is giving him some
They
info.
see Limp passing by.
Hanskin.
Hanskin. He's gonna mess this up here.
Yeah.
Smoke comes off for Kezu. They know that. And now Limp. He's quick with the jump. He's gonna move it on to Kezu. Kezu's got the BKB. He's gonna stand his ground. He pops the BKB, turns, roars Limp. Limp's down. And now time's been bought for the rest of Viking are coming from the side. Shad trying to focus onto S4, but being slowed down by the Viper strike. Nico Baby's able to finish off Kezu. As the BKB comes to an end, Nico Baby trying to find his next target. Moving in onto Celery. They'll lose the first life for Shad. Combo from Boom actually bringing Nico Baby down rather low. He's going to keep running. Over to the side he goes. Shad thinking about getting back in there, but FNG's got that blink black hole. They've got to be prepared for this. Here he goes. With the setup onto Shad. Shad, he's going to need help. He's going to need it soon. I don't know if they can get him out of this as the toxins and the pulses on the ground just melt him.
A really nice way that Alliance actually set up this fight. Although Limp does go down, he does bait a lot of spells, and they split up just accordingly. You know, Wraith King goes top. He gets kited from Viper and Nyx as the fight's going down south from Nico Baby splitting things up, going for the back. Couldn't have asked for more really from Alliance, except for, you know, the Puck surviving, but they do get 2 big core kills.
I mean, and that is the thing as well. I mean, for Shad this game, I know there is a lot of stuff that goes through the BKB, but like, would you like to see him have a BKB, or you think it is the right decision to ignore it this game because you feel that there's going to be so much control that's going to come down on you anyway?
I don't think he can slot in a BKB this game. No. There's just the Midnight Pulse and just Viper alone make it just not worth it. And versus a Puck Coil, it just does not feel good at all if he goes. And they're just gonna have to go for a different way to approach the fights. They have to get on top of S4 faster so the Chad has freedom. This Viper cannot. If this Viper survives in the fight, Chad can do nothing. So they really have to get on top of S4 and it's gonna get harder. Now S4 does have the BK.
He does. Well, that jumping and taking him down is not going to be easy. Alliance now with a 4K lead. See Limp as well after his Ags just going for that Eon disc, making sure that he also becomes a target that isn't the most appealing for Viking to commit on, as they'll never be quite sure that they can take him down to start the fight.
Yeah, KheZu needs to get his own way of initiation. He needs a Blink Dagger. He needs to get like the Blink, the Book, the Roar onto the Viper, and they need to just kill S4 so that Chad can actually play inside of these fights. It's probably going to be the most important thing for the upcoming scenarios.
Yeah, Nico Baby's
They
getting
cannot let S4 live.
pretty huge here. The butterfly right round the corner for this PL.
And that's where this armlet it can hurt. If you don't make this armlet work, you're effectively going to be outslotted in the later stages, as you're not going to be able to match these butterflies and whatnot that do come out.
Shab.
A Shad.
Has at least, of course, got the shard.
Dire's bottom tower is under
He had
attack.
to versus Nixon versus PL. He got it quite a bit earlier. Book will try to take out that vision, that ward that's up on the high ground of Alliance. They won't let it. The illusions immediately get sent on the Book to push it away.
Oh, there's the blink
Nico
on
Baby covering
KheZu.
the area.
He can make that jump that you talked about.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Getting the space for this tower.
Radiant's
Alliance.
top tower is under Radiant's top tower has fallen.
An opportunity there for Viking to get in. All right, that's it done.
Got the butterfly.
He
Now
is
they don't have
massive.
a way to deal with him. This Wraith King can't fight him at all anymore. He needs the next item. Now he needs to go for MKB rather than this Maelstrom that he wants to go for. So he needs to switch up the build as soon as he does
Dire's
identify
middle
that.
tower
I mean,
is under
But he's committed. He's got the Maelstrom. anyway.
Is the Maelstrom Miona going to do much, do you feel?
It still clears out the illusions and all
Sure.
that, right, from hitting, and the
Sure,
actual procs of the Chain Lightning can't miss. So when he does get that proc, it's there. But yeah, it's going to be underwhelming. He is a full item behind now, as Alliance can just commit into the Roche with this.
Is there any way that Viking can fight this? They're going to try by the looks of it with Boom TPing over to the tier 2.
Boom is picking up his BKB from the courier as well. Roche is dying. They at least have Hawk Vision.
Shad's walking in. He's walking in. And they're going to be able to take him down pretty quickly by the looks of it. He's getting very low. The BKB popped by S4 as he stays on target. KheZu steps in with the roar onto S4. FNG's in with the back door. He's got the four of them. He will die. And they might actually still clean up it. As they've lost 3. It was a beautiful black hole, but a black hole for what? As they're losing the fight. Nico Baby.
Oh my god.
He might just die as well. They're chasing up to the high ground. FNG brought back for this. And there's got to be one of the worst fights off the back of such a beautiful black hole. A 4-man black hole into 4 heroes dead, including a dieback there from FNG. Oh my goodness. What an emotional roller coaster.
He just died.
Yeah.
They get Shad.
And now they get Roche.
Now they get Roche. And
oh no. That was the first black hole of the game, wasn't it? As well, maybe no more black holes.
And that was right after the butterfly picked up from PL, but they did exactly what they needed to. They roared Viper. Viper wasn't able to do any of the control, and look at Chad just going ham in the fights. They killed the Nyx, and Chad's just got free reign.
And look at this. Well, we'll see it again. It's like, oh.
It does him like.
Oh, look at that. And then, whoa.
Oh, the book.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I was wondering what killed him. It was the book, the last will from the book 3.
I mean, and it just collapsed so quickly for Alliance after that.
That was huge. Shad reincarnates, comes out at the perfect time. Boom's BKB perfect time. Like, that was something.
FNG, yeah, feeling that one. Does what he can,
it
but
looked great.
It did look great.
So good, but
for a moment, it looked beautiful, and then
he killed the book. I was actually so confused what did kill him so fast. So thank God for replays. It's tough to see everything in this.
That was like 2020, the black hole. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness, everything's going down a hill.
And now Shad, like he just picked up the Maelstrom. He's got the Mjolnir finished. So they were able to win the fight without this. Alliance has to be able. They have to do a better job of picking and choosing these targets and protecting S4 and getting a better coil. Maybe not just on one hero. This time again, it is going to just be on KheZu.
They're going to have to step away. They're not going to be able to commit for that one.
Viking just really turning up in these fights
too.
anyway. When it really doesn't feel like they have a hope in the fight, they somehow still do it. These guys have always shown incredible team fight prowess, and you'll see it again.
I like this as well. I don't know if you mentioned this, but the overwhelming blink that Shad's planning to get for that, you know, extra bit of wave clear, you know what I mean? Normally you see these agi blinks, but when you're against like an illusion hero, you just want a bit more AoE to just clear it out a bit when you jump in, right? Or you're not a fan?
Okay.
You'd rather the agi still?
No, I'm okay with actually him going for, if he wants to go for overwhelming blink. I think I just like to get him a normal item. Like blink and then a normal item, and then go for it. I like the idea though versus the PL. That's actually pretty cute. You just wipe out all the illusions instantly. Like that can work, especially if, you know, I think maybe Tiny can also get one, but he's actually going for an Ags to go for his own carry build. Yeah, interesting. They're definitely thinking of solutions to be able to deal with the PL army, because I even see Kezu, he's got an Ags queued up, so you know it's magical damage on axes. So if he's able to throw out a lot of them, perhaps it is also a solution. So pretty clever here from Viking, if it does end up working. ED up top, they see it. Shad's running straight to it.
That's the lovely one.
And with this Aegis, they can definitely look to fight. He also, he has the Cloak of Flames as well, so a very thankful thing for the Wraith King, as he's going to be burning people quite quickly around him. Shad's feeling himself right now. He's toggling off the Radiance. He's toggling off the Radiance because of the Nyx too. He's expecting him to be there.
He's just charging into them.
Getting kited a bit.
He's taken quite a bit of damage as well on this first life, but boom, he's able to find the jump. He's in on the West 4 FNG. Turns up with the Mallet. He's looking for the target. He's going to find it.
It's on the Viper.
He's going to lock down onto West 4. Roll forward as well from Aramis to get the angle over towards Hanskin, but S4 still able to put the BKB. Nico Baby's in on a Kezu. He'll take out the Beastmaster. See what he can turn towards now. As Limpsey on disc will be procced as Nico Baby's looking for Aramis. A nice blink out inside to get away. Celery's out with the Glimmer Cave. Shad just holding his ground for now as they'll turn their attention back over towards Nico Baby. Nico Baby's got to be careful. Doppels out to the side, gets his illusion step back in. As he's heading straight towards the squish, he's looking for the backlines and he'll find it. Another good pick from Nico Baby, finds Celery. See if he can move over to Boom or Aramis. They put the silence to control there onto Aramis. They take down the Ice Spirit now. They look for Boom and they'll drop the Black Hole, and this time it will get the job done. As Boom's down, they pop through the first life of this Wraith King, but the outpost is still under control of Vikings, so they're able to get back in with the buybacks. Alliance will retreat though, make sure they don't lose anything to these two buybacks here from Viking, as that Celery's and more importantly Boom's being expended.
Nice. That was an instant reset by them too. As soon as they kill, as soon as they see those buybacks, so they do at least force that on Alliance. And Nico Baby is still showing how annoying he is in the fights, just jumping up and splitting it up. Shad's getting isolated if they do it like that. If they do have Nico Baby go for those supports, which he is going to every single time. And you see the focus. It's S4 just every time they just go for that roar, control the Viper, so that Shad can actually do stuff in the fights. And Alliance are a lot more ult reliant, it does feel. Like it does feel like they need to have these ults to be able to withstand the brunt force that Viking is bringing out at them. So. But now with buybacks down, Viking has to be a little bit more.
Wait up.
Keeping eyes on Shad. He's just toggling on and off the Radiance all the time versus the Snick Assassin whenever he feels like he is in the area. Looking for a jump again. Boom.
Alliance being very cautious, try not to get caught out. I mean, they know it's Nico Baby's still in a very solid spot. No Shad's behind him, just a little easier for Nico Baby to play these fights as the PL.
Hanskin seems to be aware of his positioning, but he will be able to trickle away. Yeah, Nico Baby definitely has a lot more freedom in the fights. It really feels like Shad, he has to play these fights almost perfectly. Nico Baby can just let his relentless assault of illusions kind of do the brunt of the work. Viking has to be very precise with how they do go for any of these plays. Hawk scouting behind the lines. CS4 for a moment. They might look to jump him if they do see him totally alone.
this tier 2 guy.
Tower is under attack.
Bit too scary to set up for it.
Fighting into the vision advantage, it's hard.
Yep. Another hawk gets sent out. The fact that you can just, like, this shard is so good on Beastmaster, honestly. The dive bomb is irrelevant. It's really just the fact that you can control hawks. He's just doing so much work of controlling the vision down here. And then they know that he can siege properly because of that. We have new neutral items in about 30 seconds. Alliance continuing to siege up top. Kezu is setting up with Boom. As S4 shows himself for a second down bottom, so they're going to try to make the jump immediately off that. But S4 has bots. He's coming top.
Chad, trying to start something here. Well, someone's coming in from the side. Taking an awful lot of damage there from that first round here from Alliance. FNG's waiting in the trees, has the black hole ready to go, but
the hawk is right on top.
It is. Giving them very valuable information here.
Oh, the books. Oh no. Oh, the books get cleaned up. Nico Baby gets a free 300 gold there. If you do see those neutral items now start to get picked up, that's one. The leveler for Boom. Cleaning up the next camp. Aramis as well as Celery trying to move out to cover this area with wards.
Oh yeah, this hawk just following FNG.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. It's so crazy how an ability just becomes that much better. I mean, it's hard, where it's just you can move them.
Yeah, it's I mean, you think about what these players can do with just something like the Invis Lycan Wolves, and then you step up to a unit that can just fly.
It used to be like that, right? This is the old hawk. You know, this is the way
but
like
you,
it.
I think with the old hawk, when you could micro it, you can only have one up, right?
You absolutely could only have one, and they were also
control it.
A lot weaker in general, yeah. But yeah, he can do so much invisible impact of just getting all this information. However, Alliance is still getting more out of the map. They're up to that 3k lead.
They are, but
getting themselves positioned around Roche.
But they're not getting killed. These hawks are going to make it very hard for Alliance to ever really catch Viking by surprise.
We have a nice ward right now on this high ground, so they will see the book summoned. The book will spot that ward as well. Alliance have to be very aware that they are ready to fight now on the side of Viking as Nico Baby charges in to kill the book.
He wants to get rid of him.
They do make Hanskin's game quite miserable.
Oh wait,
Shad's
hang
AC
on.
just dies.
Wait, what? That was just passing straight over him. And that would he would have had it. He's now not got AC for 3.5 minutes. What was he doing?
Couriers have a mind of their own.
I mean, I guess Shab will tell you that, but that's rough. That's very rough. 3 minutes now without an AC that he would have otherwise had completed.
S4 is not as healthy as he can be. He's 1500 Boom.
Yep.
They're looking for the wraparound Aramis as well.
Hanskin coming in to give them some info from the high ground. They're going to make the jump onto Aramis. BKB though, pistols down. Nico Baby's in on top of him. Boom trying to help out, but the core's down. Two of them, Aramis getting bashed up, taken down by the Vendetta hit over the backline from Shad. He's in onto S4. He'll find the Viper. Now turn around to help the rest of the team. Rolf and Kezu down onto Hanskin. They'll beat down the Nyx assassin. It's Hanskin trying to run. He's going to buy time with the Yours back in the river. Shad's onto Nico Baby. Hanskin finally falls. There'll be a buyback from S4. They turn towards Kezu, but Kezu TP's out. FNG's got the black hole in place to take down Shad the once, but FNG's dying. He'll go down. Shad back for round 2 as Nico Baby's trying to fight up against him. Who's able to come out on top? Doppel out to the side. There's a lot of skeletons going to work as well, but not enough as Nico Baby cleans up another. Turns now over towards Boom. In with the Abyssal. It'll be another kill here for Alliance as they take down the 4 of them.
S4 just huge play there with him, just literally a buyback. He dies immediately to Shad, but Shad full commits, gets himself into a weird position. S4 buyback, and he just gets everything off. His full arsenal to slow people down, and that allows Nico Baby to just rip them all to shreds.
Very well played. Aegis and Cheese now for Alliance. No further interruptions. As they're gonna pass the Aegis over to S4 because of that buyback.
Yeah, that's fine. He is so important in the fights. Like his break versus the Wraith King. Wraith King can't stand toe to toe. He doesn't have his vampiric spirit. He doesn't have mortal strike. He can't stand there versus the PL like he normally would want to. And also, they lost an AC before that fight. Could have maybe made the difference on the side of Viking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely would have done something. Still, what, 2 minutes without that AC. We now got a BKB on FNG, as we saw Alliance.
He's got the dream.
They've got the double Shiva's guards out. And we'll see it again here. Yeah, his courier, what was it doing?
It just ran right into them. I don't know.
It wasn't going anywhere.
It just flew right past it.
It was literally just sent straight into them. What word he was saying there?
Radiant's middle barracks
Gaben?
are under attack.
Sure.
Yelling at
the family-friendly one now. I think it was a good old
Radiant's
traditional
middle
expletive there.
has fallen.
Well,
Radiant's middle barracks
as the siege begins, Rax 1 taken out. See the split push of the summons down bottom from Kezu to the temp.
structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
They're able to take these barracks here. Boom, up and 10.
Oh, I see. 30 seconds till his courier's back up.
All right. It's been a long 3 minutes for Shad.
It really has been.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Accelerate.
Radiant's bottom barracks
All
are
right, he's
under
got the
attack.
essence ring. Limit is away. But Lions, they got what they came for. Serious damage done to the base, and Nico, baby, well on the way to his next item. 5k gold in the bank. 5k gold ahead of Shab right now.
And he can always, if S4 is alive, he can just fight. He can just man-fight this Wraith King with ease. That break mechanic, of course, several times now in this game. And yeah, Lions now in a very comfortable spot. They can back up, reset themselves, wait for... They've got Black Hole up in 20 with that BKB. They are way stronger now with FNG having this. Now it's like, do you save Roar? I don't think you want to. You still have to use Roar on the Viper. And then you're putting yourself at risk of getting Black Hole with the BKB with no counter. The fight's now looking infinitely harder for Viking. The Lions looking to hit hard. Can't quite catch Aramis. Nico Baby trying to get that Abyssal charge off, but he can't. And we see Kezu continuing to try to cut some creep waves. Maybe get a courier. No, quite. Now he's going to dive bomb the mid wave, perhaps.
Oh,
They're
no.
just there for scouting.
He's got his illusionist cape. Oh, he's happy about that one.
Seems like Nico Baby said Gaben as
Very
well, and he got
happy.
blessed.
Yeah, there you go.
Viking trapped in their base. They did take out both of those base wards that were placed from Alliance, but Alliance now forcing the issue.
Radiant structures are fortified.
His last set with that one, with that very squishy, very low HP Ranger X bottom.
So what they're going to do, Shab, is going to try and jump in. Start something off here, see what he can force out of Alliance.
Nice place for them to defend around these tree lines with Boom's Aghanim, so he can actually throw his tree volley effectively here. Slow them down a little bit.
And what about this? Do you like this? I feel like we don't get to see this much. The Aghanim's Beastmaster. We're going to have axes for days.
Magic damage axes, right? Versus the PL. Something.
It adds up. The damage, if he's able to get a few of them in, which, zero cooldown. Just got to wait for them to return, and you can keep them going out. It's perfect for this sort of situation for holding the high ground.
Yeah, look at this cast range with the Aether Lens. Look at that. Tossing them from no man's land. The tree volley as well. That's 4.
Take quite a bit of damage here. They're going to try and jump in onto Shad. They should be able to get them once they do it. And Shad down once there, so they can do it a second time. Shad actually out to the side there. Good disengage as he jumps away from the initiation from Nico Baby. S4's coming in with the BKB, zoning Shad back, but S4 will fall the once. As the Aegis is gone, they'll take the range rack. Alliance roll forward. They're looking to set up onto S4 a second time. Kick back into the combo. Boom. S4. He's still good to go though. Now Aramis, he's in on the front. S4 will fall. Aramis, can he get out of here? Nico Baby's chasing the Glimmer Cape. They'll be able to save him. As Aramis will escape. Viking, they'll keep their melee racks alive now. And S4's down for 100.
Can they chase out? I feel like they kind of have to right now. Shad has to get this momentum going from when Viper's down. Just look for any of these opportunities of kills. The lanes will push in quite heavily, but I feel like they have to make something happen off of this. 90 seconds where Shad can have freedom inside the fights of not just getting Viper Strike and Nether Toxin. Got to make a big move here on the side of Viking. Nico Baby, 9,000 gold.
He needs to spend that money. Let's get the Swift Blink.
Invisibility.
They're making moves. They're using this Hawk to scout out, try to get some information. They're drawing the line on the side of Alliance. Move away from him. Nico Baby. Ooh.
PNG.
Oh, he is
Yeah.
looking to be in some trouble. Hawk, he is smoked. He's ninja geared on the side.
Oh! He's found him, Kezu! He's got him in the trees.
Carriers First cut.
That was close. And nearly out of there, FNG. But Kezu must have caught him just towards the end of that TP. We'll see it here. Ah, he had a second or so left, but still nicely done there from Viking and Kezu.
Now they have 30 seconds with 2 heroes dead. Can they catch another one? Can they keep getting Alliance off their guard and just keep losing these numbers? This is where Viking can have a chance to come back in this one. Picking themselves up some new items. See that overwhelming blink is done on Chad. He's committed.
Wow.
And boom, not quite committing yet. He's still saving his buyback for the moment, but he does have Daedalus queued. So they do have some crazy damage also coming in for themselves still.
Very cautious, especially with these respawns coming in for FNG and S4.
They got a ward down, only the one up there at the moment, but it is going to give them some decent information as they do see 2 Alliance heroes with it quickly. They did see bottom S4 as well, so they do know at the moment that Alliance is a bit split up. Alliance, though, not going to give them the opportunity. They're going to start to get closer together to each other. FNG's ninja gearing down to his team, and they're going to look for these last sets. At least just finish up that range rack so they can commit for that melee up top eventually. Split push is on. Up top. Conskin.
Celery.
Over Celery.
Oh, he's dead.
Nice play. You see that too? The Carapace on the Storm... whatever the hell this item is. Stormcrafter.
Oh, hang on, S4, what's he doing?
Oh, he's split. The Hawks can't get split.
And boom! He's jumping back in onto FNG, but FNG's just going to hold his ground, pops the BKB, drops the black hole onto Boom. Have they got the damage between the two of them to take him out? He's still got a BKB to pop, but he's going to accept his fate here. Doesn't want to waste a charge on this. As that's S4 down and a black hole gone.
Okay, at least he did force. Yeah, at least he did force the black hole, but he's dead for quite a long time. Viper's going to be back up, and they're going to have like 20 seconds when Viper is up to actually have the numbers on the side of Alliance this time. If somebody else doesn't die in between it all, which is very likely to happen. Actually, Shad waiting with a DD. Roche is that next thing on the menu. 2 minutes till it does stuff. It does spawn. Continue to watch these Hawks, as this is the majority of the gameplay for Viking.
Yeah.
That Hawk is giving them everything, giving them all the information, and Viper is still dead. He has buyback. They can set up around here. Perhaps they can look for a fight with their tiny buyback. Waiting to see something playing around their ward vision.
Using that buyback is going to be... As all Celery! Shad's going to try and help out. Celery's got, they are going to buy back on Boom. They're going to look to try and get something going here as they roll in straight away onto Nico Baby. If they got enough damage, as he's down to half HP, it's not quite enough. Nico Baby's away, but Aramis is there with the follow. Kezu as well comes in with the roar as Nico Baby will get taken out. The buyback from Boom, a successful one as they remove the PL. And now they head over. What's the respawn on Roche? Still not up for a minute though. So, I mean, Nico Baby will be back just about around the time that Roche will be back in.
They got the big kill though. That is the huge one, the PL. We see S4, he immediately TPs down bottom to get the split push going as top, Boom.
He brought back for this. He needs help, and he needs it now. He can't afford to die. As Hansken's in with the damage, is he going to have enough to take him out? Boom's getting low, lips in with the jump. That's Boom down for 2 minutes. He pushed on too far and too alone. Aramis also in trouble now as he cannot escape this. And that death here from Boom, I mean, you see it straight away with the buyback of Nico Baby. That may just be the game.
And that's always the fear about these Tinies versus Enigma. That's just Midnight Pulse alone pretty much just killed him. With the combination of a couple hits from the Nyx and his control and keeping him in it, Midnight Pulse just killed the Tiny. The 5 position.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They have to deal that huge damage. And yeah, now down 3 heroes. Alliance, they have the whole force. Not how Viking wants this game to be closing out. Can't even put up a fight now without this Tiny.
They're going to have to let this top ranks go and probably even the bottom one. Aramis does have buyback, but no Boom for over a minute.
Radiant's bottom barracks is falling. The Dire now have mega creeps.
Where are you going?
There's Alliance. See how how much they want to try and push this Roche is going to be up. I mean, it is up now. They know it.
They just go do it.
They're going to play it
No
safe,
tiny.
go back for the Aegis. It's got an Aghanim's Blessing in there as well, ready for them. So why not, you know, play it safe. No need to take any chances here, Alliance. I know that they're in a very comfortable spot here. Even with Boom back in the game in 45, they know that one more hit and they'll be able to push these Megas over towards a victory.
Mega's already coming into the base too. It's going to be this constant pressure that Viking has to deal with anyway on top of all this looming. So Viking's actually trying to contest.
I mean, Celery's coming out. He's kind of drawing their attention away from the pit. Shad, he's looking for a target on the backlines, but he's been stunned by the Spike Carapace. They turn with the Impale. Dream Core down onto Kezu. Shad, he's getting low. He's trying to get himself out of vision into the pit, but FNG on the side, he's dropping the black hole onto Kezu, making sure that there's no roar for this fight as Kezu's down. Shad's up for round 2. Is able to get the blink outside of the pit as he respawns. Aramis, he actually rolls straight in. He's good to go with the BKB and the ult. He's looking to roll straight back out. I get over towards the safety of Shad. In with the Malphite, lips in with a jump. Aramis, he's down. Does have buyback available. Roshan will fall. Alliance will be able to clean it up. Trap themselves the Aegis.
Shad run away.
Kezu.
He's trying.
Kezu's in trouble. Boom, trying to turn things around with the Daedalus Aghanim's damage. He gets FNG low. He's trying to head over towards Aramis and with the combo. They take down FNG, but they've lost Kezu. They've lost Shad. And they've lost Boom, and they've lost the game. As GG is called, Alliance will be able to close up this game 2 against Viking.
Very close back and forth game. See that Alliance just a little bit more comfortable in these later stages as Nico Baby, a much more self-reliant hero this PL.